Welcome to Raw Talk. As always, I hope everybody's doing well and that you check out the link down below in the description box if you want to see some recaps in case you don't have cable television. Backstage, Seth Rollins walked in the building with his daughter. I believe he was holding a girl. Jinder Mahal as well arrived in style. I like how he's just been put back into the spotlight. Me personally, I've always loved Jinder Mahal. I've always said, along with a lot of people, don't hinder the Jinder. Cody Rhodes opens up the show, talks about why he came back to WWE, was quickly interrupted by Drew McIntyre. And I felt that this promo again, and I've said this before, sometimes I'm going to repeat some of the same lines I say from week to week if a similar situation occurs again. If we have Drew and Cody 3 weeks in a row doing a promo in the ring, right? I'm not going to narrate what the promo was. I'm assuming that you maybe have watched this or whatever. I just thought it was great. Like I said, Drew is so much more comfortable on the mic than he's ever been. I think he was comfortable before. He just wasn't as elaborate, wasn't as deep. And I just find he's so much deeper now. Drew congrats him. He does the whole Paul Heyman thing. He brings you up, but then kaboom, right? And I really, really enjoy that. And if you remember, they used to be the Dashing Ones, and they were tag teams when they were in their early 20s. So this was just great. This was probably one of the highlights of the night for me for an, I was going to say out of ring, it was in ring, but out of competition, like for just a promo thing. But backstage, man, R-Truth and Damian Priest chat. Truth selling the shirts. It's like, hey, dog, I got your cut, DP. You know, I was just cracking up so hard. It was just like, oh, man, that guy makes me smile so much. Unbelievable, man. It's just some funny shit. And that's all there is to it. And then JD McNugget and Dirty Sauce, Dom, don't ask me where these names come from, versus DIY, the Tomato Champ, and Johnny Wrestling Gargano. DIY wins. This was an amazing match. Like I said before, I really like Dominic. He's been around for a couple of years now. He's not just a flash in the pan. He's not just around because of his dad. The guy can hang in there, and he does pretty good. And I just really appreciate him. So I'm glad that he's there. But yeah, Tommaso and Gargano, like I said, I think it was in NXT that they were DIY. I'm not going to lie. Never seen the DIY. That rhymes. But they're great. And I just like the whole thing just with them. They're just a really good tag team. And like I've said before, countless times, I hope that we get more teams so that we can separate those tag team division belts. Adam Pearce chats with Piper and Chelsea. Well, actually, they interrupted Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae, I believe is their name. I always forget their name for some reason. And they ended up... yeah, I said DIY one. Man, I'm getting distracted here. Candice LeRae, yeah, so it ends up that they end up wanting to get into a match with one another. Piper, I really like. It's not that I don't like the other ones. It's that vibe thing, you know what I mean? For me, Piper's got to be one of my favorite ones out of these four. And Chelsea Green, again, really good at selling the moves, playing her role, doing the whole intro. I can't do the move, but she's just really, really good at what she does. Selling the moves, being safe in the ring. All those things that sometimes people kind of forget about. It makes a big difference. And as much as I might dunk sometimes on Chelsea, it's not her personally. It's her character. And they lost. And I just wish that like it would have been a little bit of a bigger deal because they were tag team champions for a while there. And I just don't know how long this whole Chelsea Green Piper Niven thing's gonna last. I still miss Chelsea's old partner. I'm not gonna lie. Sonya Deville. I almost forgot her name. But yeah, and backstage we've got Gunther and Ludwig Kaisermann. Before they come out, you know, they do that thing where for 2 seconds you see them before they come out. I could see him with short hair. Or a shaved head. He would look quite interesting. But backstage, Rhea and Damien exchange a quick glance. It's a little tense there sometimes. JD wants to beat up R-Truth. JD wants a cut, of the money from the shirt. And R-Truth is like, or not R-Truth, sorry, Damian Priest is like, dude, you're not even on the shirt. It was just like, oh man, just that whole thing, that whole dynamic that goes on with the Judgment Day and R-Truth for me is absolute gold. I know that some people don't like it, and that's fine. You don't have to like it. Some people are like, the Rhea Ripley comedy thing is really hurting her. I don't know where the comedy is with Rhea Ripley. I don't think her character is being hurt at all. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. So, there you have it. With that, Ludwig Kaiser did his rare intro, which I really appreciate. It's kind of like, what's his name? Remember Rusev Day? Remember Rusev, Machka. And you would have Aiden English? No. Was it? And he would come out. Anyways, I just like that whole thing where he demands people's gratitudes. His music, for Gunther's music, I still think it sucks, but the newer Imperium music, which is slightly different, I think is really good. You just talk about how he was proud as Ludwig, blah, blah, blah. Xavier Wood comes out, challenges Ludwig. Then we had a match where Ludwig Kaiser defeated Xavier Woods, but because of disqualification. This was a really good match. It was pretty grueling. Xavier Woods was left bleeding at the end. That's not why I like the match. I'm just saying, all in all, it was good. I like seeing Xavier Woods and Kofi and all them. Sometimes in one-on-one matches, like I said, sometimes I feel like there's just that thing that happens when you're doing a one-on-one and not a tag match. Not always. I don't know. Like the New Day, when you had Big E, Kofi, Xavier. His name doesn't rhyme. That's him. Kick him out. I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like it gets diluted what a person can do. Sometimes, not always. And then you'll see them go singles and you're like, oh, interesting. I didn't know they could do that kind of thing. So yeah. So again, this was a great match. Backstage promo with Bronson Reed was really funny. It was like a one sentence, like, let me remind you, I'm here for the belt. I'm like, all right, you tell him. Because he's pretty good on the mic. They just didn't give him enough time to really do anything. So I just thought that was interesting. And then backstage we had, we'll get into that in a minute. Backstage we had, Xavier Woods that ran into Byron Saxton, which I missed. I never thought I'd say that. But after Kevin Patrick, Byron Saxton, please come back. Kaiser jumps him. Kaiser jumps Xavier, that is. But then Jey Uso came to help. Refs tell Jey to calm down. I'm like, he didn't do anything. He just broke it up. He didn't attack him or anything like that. So we didn't see Jey Uso in action. We didn't see Cody Rhodes in action. We didn't see CM Punk. There's a lot of people. And I'll get to that now, actually, before I forget. Do you like, I'm just going to throw a random number, 50 superstars on Raw, 50 on SmackDown, but you only see a handful of them each week, and then every other week you get to see every other superstar, if that makes sense? I kind of wish, in a way, the roster was a bit smaller, to be honest with you, so we could just see the same people week after week. But it's still kind of nice, I suppose. But in a way, not really. There's only 4 Raws a month. That's not a lot of time when you think about it. 4 Raws a month. So in like 30, 31 days, if you skip a week because you're just not there, you're going to see Jey Uso like 3 times a month. That's not all that exciting to me. Hence why I would rather they're around every single week. But yeah. Akira Tozawa versus Ivar. Akira actually won after some distractions, but then Valhalla attacked Maxine. Ivar went after Akira. It was pretty wild. Yeah, so then backstage, Alpha Academy chat about Ivar. Chad Gable says that he's going to face Ivar next week. I'm actually looking forward to that. I think he can actually pick him up. Rhea Ripley came out for a promo. Again, the crowd just loves Rhea Ripley, and rightfully so. Then Becky came out. Becky gave a really good promo. It's just every time she talked, She does the thing like this and then I mean, I blink. She does the weird air gulp. So, I mean, we all have our own thing. I'm just saying, it kind of drives me crazy. But I don't think she's aware of it. Whereas I'm aware of my blinking Blink 182 shit. That's a band, by the way, from the 90s. And then, backstage with Seth Rollins talking about facing Jinder Mahal. You know, it's not the same Mahal as before. Takes him seriously. Like I said, I love Jinder. And then Priest and Balor versus R-Truth and The Miz. Oh, Jesus, man. Judgment Day 1, but just the whole thing with, like, Truth, like, oh, no, I thought it was you and me, DP says. I was like, my bad, dog. It turns around and bop, just gets clobbered. It's just the whole thing's hilarious, but he's such a good competitor. He's like 51 years old, R-Truth. I don't know for how much longer he's going to do it, man, but he's so good. And he's so talented, but again, he's used as a comedic act, kind of like Santina Marella back in the day. Very, very capable superstars. Very capable, as is Chelsea Green and many others that came before them. But sometimes are just used as okay? Look at Zack Ryder. He had the looks. He had everything. Everything. They treated him like shit. Now he's an indie god. He's got like so many belts. I'm so happy for him. But yeah, backstage, there was with Jackie there in Jinder Mahal. Good promo, kept his eyes closed. He was in meditation, very calm, wasn't angry. I like that. And of course, the backstage vignette promo with Shinsuke Nakamura, which is really good. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. I knew they were going to win. I was hoping they were going to win. Kind of, yeah. I like them a lot. Some of my favorites now. They went up against Tegan Nox and Natalya. I'm saying this for like the millionth time. I love Natalya to death. I don't think you understand. Jim Neidhart, just the whole family. I just love them to death. And Natalya just on her own accolades. But listen, speaking of Zack Ryder, she's getting Rydered. She's getting the Zack Ryder treatment. She like never wins. And so she's almost a jobber, and that's not an insult to her at all on a personal level. They're just calling it what it is. So when Shane and Zoe won, I was like, well, yeah, it's sad, but it is the way it is. It's like Dana Brooke. She was misused as well. And sometimes I wonder if they just have too many people on the roster. Let me know down below in the comments section what you think of that statement. Is there too many people on the roster? Should they... Well, they won't, but would it be wiser to shrink it down and have each superstar come out each week rather than seeing them only 2 or 3 times a month? So, yeah. Jinder came out for his match against Seth Rollins. He came out with Indus Sher. I always mispronunciate their names. But again, Jinder Mahal, great shape. Kudos to him for the hard work that he's put in. Yeah, we've got Veer and Sangha. And Jinder Mahal, the old picture when he was bald like me. Just like Becky, that's an old look for Becky. And, anyways. Overall, I had a good time. That's really what it comes down to, is I had a good time watching the show. And I look forward to having another show again on Friday for SmackDown. And that's the end of that. Simple as that. So as always, if you liked the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. And if you didn't like the video, you know it's coming again. It's not it's original, because I don't think anybody else has ever said the line. Go ahead, give it a thumbs down, and I'll make sure you get a solo Sokoa Samoan Spike broken off inside of your ass. I don't think anybody else has ever said that. I'm saying it, and it's a good line, so I'm going to keep repeating it in each one of my videos instead of trying to come up with something original week in, week out. So yeah, and if you want to subscribe to the channel, exactly. None of this bullshit. Make sure you smash and like and subscribe and all this bullshit. No. If you like the stuff and you want to have a seizure watching me blink 182 times a minute, go right ahead. If not, like I've said before, I don't blame you. Thank you for stopping by. I am the $22 man. I'm worth $22 a month on this channel. I don't even know the word. This is why I'm failing. I am the I'm a big deal. My goodness, I need to go back to bed. This is what happens when you're shoveling snow for 2 frickin' hours. It's so mentally and physically draining. Yeah, so take care, and maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.